Hello and welcome to another edition of the Oil and Gas Report, brought to you by Katch Kan. I'm your host, Rob Hislop. You know, Katch Kan believes in two main things, that is the environment and safety. And today we're going to be talking all about rig safety and service rig safety as well. We are at an awards show. It's put on by the Canadian Association of Oilwell Drilling Contractors, and it acknowledges huge, tremendously large safety records on many of the rigs in Alberta. And to find out a little bit more about the awards that are being handed out, we're joined now by Ross Pickering, who is the chairman of the board of the Canadian Association of Oilwell Drilling Contractors. Tell me a little bit about the awards bank, I guess the awards ceremony, and why it's important.
Well, it's important because we recognize all of our field workers on their achievements for the past year. So it's changed over the past few years. We used to recognize individual companies, and now we're recognizing the individuals that have achieved the awards. So it's a 200 days or 1 year working recordable free.
Why did you decide to go from the company to the individual?
We feel it's more about the individual. The safety in our industry is it's an ownership process, so you need the support of your company, but ultimately it's up to the individual to work safely and to show the leadership and the commitment, and that's what we're rewarding tonight.
So what are we talking about when it comes to safety records here? What sort of marks have been made?
Well, the awards are based on a year recordable free, but we have many individuals that have worked years and years and years without a recordable, managing a crew or an entire rig without a recordable.
Now, from what I understand, things have changed a lot over the years. Better products out there now to maintain safety records as well, and just a different mindset in the industry is what seems to be going on right now.
Yeah, I would say for sure the systems, the processes, the tools we use have all improved, but I think more so it's the training and the ownership that the individuals take. It's personal, it's about the people, so I think everybody looks out for one another a little more, and certainly the industry has made great strides in the past 8 to 10 years.
There's no doubt there's been a shift in industry thinking. We were told by some of the rig operators here that 10, 20 years ago, safety was not a paramount concern, not at all like it is today. Now we're going to be talking with Mark Scholz, who's going to tell us a little bit about where the industry is going. So let's talk a little bit about how, I guess, rig safety has changed over the years. What's been going on, say, from the 80s to today? How have you noticed changes?
Well, I think it's been a cultural shift, and certainly I think people are, I mean, obviously there's new technologies that have come out, but I think overall it's been, you know, a culture shift with the priority of safety and the commitment to safety. And so, you know, our statistics have shown that, you know, in the last, 10, 15 years, they have continually been pushing downward, and I think we're just seeing the expectation in the field is that, you know, we do a, you know, in some cases, we work in a very safety-sensitive environment, and we have to be cognizant of that and ensure that people go home safe. And so, culture has changed, and I think that is resonating right across the industry.
People often think, when they think of the oil industry, they think of it as being a dangerous occupation. But as you and I were talking off camera earlier, you say there's a lot of misconceptions about the industry. Is that another one of them that you or people in the oil industry feel is out there?
No, absolutely. I think if you look at the stats, and we have seen that the industry is one of the oil and gas industry is one of the safest industries, frankly, in Canada to work, and it is for Alberta as well. And I think it's because of the the priority that we place on our people and the priority of safety that has moved our industry from where we were 10 years ago to where we are today. Our commitment is firm on the fact that we're devoted to our people, we're dedicated to our people, and the stats show that we've continually trended in the right direction in terms of making sure people are safe. So.
Now, there is a lot of safety equipment out there, as you mentioned, new technology that's making a difference. Should this new technology be mandated on all drill sites if you know it can save lives and make things a little bit safer for workers? Should there be something along those lines?
You know what, I think industry has always been ahead of the curve when it comes to that. Our industry has been proven to be leaders both in technology, both in innovation, how we conduct our business, the equipment that we use. This is not an industry that needs to be mandated to do the right thing. It's an industry that is proactive, an industry that always moves in a progressive way to present our customers with a more quality service, as well as presenting our people with an environment that's safe. So, frankly, I don't think a mandatory initiative is required, because I think the industry's past that. We're leaders, and we pride ourselves on that, and we're going to continue to do that.
Yet not every rig site would have all the safety equipment. I mean, I'm sure some companies would be more prepared to shell out money because they see the benefits down the road, whereas others may not.
No, certainly. Obviously, there are some companies that might have a different level of investment in some of the newer technologies. But I think the message we want to send is across the board. This has been a cultural shift right across the industry. So it doesn't necessarily matter whether or not one drilling company has the state-of-the-art equipment. What is important is there is that underlying commitment to safety. So no matter what type of equipment you're working on, maybe you have to do additional hazard assessments, maybe you have to be, work in a different way, but I think the results speak for themselves, that it's a cultural phenomenon that has occurred, and we want to make sure our people are safe regardless of the environment they're working in.
Now, we also had a chance to chat with some of the award recipients. We talked about their safety records, how proud they are of them. We also had a chance to talk about how the industry has changed over the years, as well as the difference that technology is making on rigs today. So tell me this, how long have you been in the industry, and how have you seen things change?
Originally I started in 1974, and safety-wise it's a big deal. It's a lot of work, a lot more involved than what it used to be when I first started out, but it's all for the better. We want all our people to go home safe and sound.
Yes, how important is safety when it comes to working on the rigs? How big an issue is it?
It's huge. I mean, if we can run successfully and not hurt anybody, my goal when I started was to, never see anybody get hurt. Right? We all want to do well and make the company happy or the customer happy. But in the end of the day, if you hurt somebody along the way, you failed, right? So, or that's my opinion. So
how long have you gone now with injury-free days?
Oh, I think 5 years maybe.
Tell me about the award you're getting today and what it means to you.
Basically getting an award for most man hours worked without injury, and it's a pretty big thing for me, because to send guys home at the end of a 12-hour shift or at the end of their 2 weeks, it's important. Everybody has families, so I like to go home to my kids and my wife, and it's a big thing.
So what is the cost to the company if there was a serious injury on your rig? What's the cost to the company?
Major, you're losing a good hand. Never mind downtime, incident, could go OH&S. You never know what, depending on the severity of an incident. So, yeah, it can be a lot. Never mind your safety record, because everybody wants to hire a safe and efficient rig.
So does it shut down the rig for a period of time?
Depends on the severity of the incident. Like, I haven't had any kind of incident that, well, I haven't had one, so I haven't had one that would do that. But if somebody ever got hurt severely, well, then you got OH&S, you got RCMP, and etc. that would be coming out and doing an investigation.
And from what I understand, your company uses some Katch Kan products. Tell me how they make a difference for you.
Well, Katch Kan is a lot better than the old poly and a rubber roughneck around a pipe. So, a roughneck was actually the one that invented Katch Kan. And, well, everybody wishes they would have been the one that did it themselves, because everybody fought with poly and a rubber roughneck in order to keep yourself from having to use the big mud can. And it's a very light and very versatile piece of equipment that stands up well for over time.
The traction on the floor is increased 200% with stuff like Katch Kan has there, right? And we were working with bar grading or checker plate when I started. It was slippery in heck. Like, it's a great product.
So is that part of the reason why the injury rate is, you're able to sustain a good record, is because there are products out there that just make the work site a lot safer? Yes, it is. That's definitely one of the main reasons the rigs has got a lot safer industry, I think, is the products they're giving us to work with, right? Like I said, I go back to the toolbox with all the tools in it. That's one of the tools they supply, right? You just got to use it. That brings to a close this edition of the Oil and Gas Report, brought to you by Katch Kan. I'm Rob Hislop.